Okay, so I'm getting ready to make a video for YouTube, get some content going. I wrote down a bunch of ideas. I had a whole, you know, spew of stuff come out a little while ago, and so I've been making notes, and I seem to have kind of hit a little bit of a dead spot. So I'm going to talk to my face and ask that. I started to say hope, ask that request, and absolutely believe that Spirit is here with me. Please tell me what it is that I'm wanting to do. I want to be able to tell people that they don't need religion to reach inside and find the ability to heal themselves. A lot of people are in some pretty horrible positions right now with themselves based on shame and things that they have done, things that people have done to them. It's a very intense cycle, and it's very difficult to break a generational curse if the people that are still doing and participating in that level of confusion and disillusion and chaos, quite frankly, it's difficult to break that apart and really get it resolved if you can't get the flying monkeys to stop. And the way that I know that I can assist in that process is to not become a flying monkey. That's the first thing, is not to become a flying monkey, nor that nasty witch, neither one, to go right back to being Dorothy and remember what I'm about, which, I got my red shoes on, man. I'm trying to get home and you're in my way. Let me get a little water and take care of you. And Dorothy was never mean. Isn't that a beautiful concept? Dorothy wasn't mean to the Wicked Witch. She simply, you're not going to kill me. I've had enough. You've done, some pretty bad stuff, and you've really frightened me, and you've thrown me off my path. I'm on my journey, my spiritual journey, perhaps. I'm on my spiritual journey, and I got some hoe, with a green face and a black hat that's throwing, dark action at me with some malfeasance and ill intent, and she was tired, click, 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 bitch, I just want to go home, and you're in my way, quite frankly. I mean, can you blame her? She didn't know that she was going to be, landing and killing the sister, and it just sets off a whole thing, doesn't it, about how it is that we get trapped in these old curses and what have you, because we don't know that, first of all, it's not my fault that the house landed on your sister. That's not my fault. And it's also not my fault that I'm who I am, or that you are who you are. And I don't have to take responsibility for being you or not being you, and likewise, you don't have to either with me. But to turn all of that, Dorothy's very virtuous, and to turn all of that into that you murdered my sister, and now I'm going to curse you and chase you, stalk you. If you can't talk then stalk, it's much better, right? And I'm going to throw you off your path. I'm going to send you through a field of poppies, and make you fall asleep. You're going to be deep asleep. And she was. That's the beautiful thing, is that she was. All of them were under the mystery. And when they made it out of the poppy field, she still ended up getting to Oz. And unfortunately, in that story, unlike with Divinity, once I found Oz, there wasn't some weird, creepy troll behind the curtain that I had to listen to. I had given over control to any creepy troll that wanted to come by, because I didn't know that I could install my own boundaries of, no, and you're not the chaos maker or the magic maker or any kind of maker to my life at all. There's no such thing. I'm the one. When I pull back the curtain in Oz, I should find me and my team of spiritual advisors, or whatever I bow to in spirituality, not some human face or some human endeavor. If I bow to that, that's going to be ugly when that changes its mind or goes away or somehow is no longer available to me or doesn't want to play with me the way that it used to. So self-sufficiency is the right answer. So, when Dorothy pulled back the curtain and realized that, oh my God, this is terrible. And she had it in her the whole time, right? She got some assistance from this fairy, the Good Witch, or I don't remember, I guess she must have been the Good Witch. And it was such a scary ass movie that I'd never watched the whole thing and still haven't. And I get the concept, though, of the struggle of good and evil, and how can we learn something from that, because that's really all it is. That we're talking about the same struggle. It's just in different applications of it. And how do you deal with it? The way that I deal with it is I'm no longer going to carry the shame of other people or the guilt of other people that has to do with, that's your profession, that you're a mean, nasty, evil witch. You're the bad witch, and you got to hang with understanding that if you play the role of bad witch, then you get all of the bad junk that comes with it. I mean, that's kind of your wheelhouse, is bad. And, good, it depends. Are you truly being a positive change, an effectual change that's positive for the planet, for yourself, or whatever it is? If it's a positive intention, then there's going to be definitely a whole different vibrational feel to that. And it's going to probably be a lot nicer. In my experience, it's a whole lot nicer when I'm orbiting around in a dust cloud of, and I'm grinding. I find that, people kind of are grinding back. Isn't that, kind of expected? That if I'm out there, I'm throwing out there a 2 to somebody, and they're bringing me a 4, and I throw them a 2, then I'm asking them to already be upset that they're giving more to the interaction than I am. And if it's a chronic problem over and over and over again in a relationship, that's toxic and dysfunctional. You're going to hate it. In everyday living, though, if I'm walking out and I'm just, and I'm expecting other people to try to embrace me with kindness, some people will. Some people will say, well, they must just be having a bad day. However, there's quite a few people to be happy to go, oh, you want me to handle that for you? Let me light that little firecracker and I'll add mine. And then you've got conflict. And I'm not about it. The adrenaline that I feel when I'm excited about something is because it's something that truly brings me happy and makes me, skip around like a dork. That's the kind of adrenaline and fun feeling that I want to have. I don't want to have a rush of adrenaline because I got my hostility, my anger, and my rage kicked up. Why do I have that level of intense rage? Because Dorothy didn't pour the water on the witch and beat her to death with the pail before she went, before she evaporated. She just took care of business and said, no, you're not doing that. You've tried to set my friends on fire and, rust my friends. And I don't know what she did to the poor cowardly lion. Probably scared him. Yeah, scared him. Using and manipulating, using the tactics that would really, at a vulnerable spot, get whoever it was and take him out. She didn't directly do anything to them, so she couldn't be directly held accountable. However, she set it up to, And then if Dorothy lost all of her support system, how would she get to Oz? She'd be too afraid, right? And going through the poppy field, how's she going to get to Oz? She'd be too stoned. I mean, people throwing monkey wrenches, literally flying monkey wrenches into her journey, her walk, that she was walking with her spirit family, her soul tribe, her starseed family, whatever she called that, or her buddies, on the road to, we don't believe in any of that junk. We just know how to do the right thing, and we're good people, and we're going to go do that. Or we're good Tin Man, Lion, and Straw Guy. I mean, they don't have to claim to be spiritual. They didn't have to claim to be Catholic before they took off. They didn't have to claim to be warlocks, wizards, or light workers, or a Baptist, or Sangama. They didn't have to do anything. They just started walking and being exactly who they were, in the most honorable integrity and dignity and self-assurance, confidence, and we're together on this, knowing they were loyal to one another. And that's how they walk forward, with that kind of integrity and impeccable desire to do the right thing, which is, I want to go home. I want to go where I belong. I don't want to be held accountable for your dead sister. Sorry that she died. My condolences. When I get back to Kansas, I'll send flowers, and I don't know what you want me to do about it. Get a chocolate fountain at the reception, I guess. But it's not her fault, or it's not my fault. I'm not taking that. And, I'm also not going to take you as, a companion on our journey if you're trying to kill the people on my team. You've got to go now. And ultimately, at the very end, you've done enough now that you just have to go away. But she wasn't punishing about it. And it's not an analogy that I would want any human being to take forward into the 3D experience here, that when you decide to neutralize someone, you just, neutralize them in some detrimental way that takes them out of the planet, like you murder them somehow. That's not okay. So let me put that out there right away. But in my mind, how easy is it for me to visualize that or see that in a story and be reminded that, oh yeah, Dorothy didn't have to beat the witch. She didn't. She could have. She could have beaten her to death. I mean, she used what was her own weakness, didn't she? Dorothy she flipped the script. I mean, that was a pretty tight story there, that she flipped the script and said, okay, you tried to rust the Tin Man, you scared the snot right out of the lion, and what was it? Oh, the other one didn't have a brain. You know, the rust guy, or the guy that was rusty, he didn't have a brain, and the straw guy, she tried to set on fire. So the witch used what she knew was their deepest fear, their most vulnerable spot. She found their belly up position of vulnerability, and she used it. So what did Dorothy do? I don't know that she knew. I don't remember. I have to put it out there. I don't remember that. Did she know beforehand that the water was going to take her out, or was she just trying to maybe put out a fire or something even? I don't really know. Yeah, actually, I think that's what it was. Isn't that amazing that the witch was taunting the straw man with fire, and when Dorothy was doing the logical thing, she was acting in integrity and rescuing her teammate from death, burning to death. Here's your Joan of Arc moment, strawman. Not right now. We haven't gotten 11:11. We haven't gotten Oz yet. We got other things to do there, witch. You got to go. And she was simply just trying to protect her friend, and it neutralized the witch. But she didn't beat her to death with the pail, and she didn't cuss her, and she didn't do 11:22. Thank you. She did not do nasty things. She didn't go ghetto. She didn't go bad witch to neutralize the bad witch. You can't take out the bad witch with bad witch magic. You just can't. You have to come at it with something more powerful, and going darker is not more powerful than light. Sorry, I know we all want to work around, but that's not how that happens. And so when we're reaching into the dark arts closet and we're choosing that really bad witch stuff, it's a bad sitch usually. So that's all I'm going to leave with that. I can't believe I had actually I often make videos just to kind of process through, channel the information that I'm getting, listen to, it's my team in my ear, and kind of let things gel. And this is actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and upload to YouTube, because it's a good message that now's the time. If somebody, wherever, all the places where anybody's landed a house on your sister, so sorry, or your sister, so sorry. Retaliating, though, if it was an honest mistake, retaliating is not the answer, and Dorothy showed us that it wasn't the answer. And yeah, it's just a kid's story, that's dumb, blah, 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 blah. And I choose to look at it differently. I look at all of life as a story, a parable, symbolism, an opportunity for me to be reminded of all of the realms of divinity that exist that I can't see, but I can feel if I allow myself to do that. And so rather than get into those, hateful exchanges that's low-lying fruit, man. I want something that tastes better and doesn't leave me horribly disoriented after I eat it, drunk with the rotten fruit that fell on the ground, because that was the easiest to grab. No thanks. Dorothy would have never gotten home if she hadn't gone through that whole entire process, only to find out it was always in you the whole time, because you really want to be home. And that's where your greatest sense of security and sacred is. Then go ahead and make that shit happen. So I'm gonna leave now, 1322. Thank you so much for your time. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm working on making more, because the metaphors are they're endless. You can see the Christ potential, you can see divinity, you can see God, you can see Brahma, you can see all of the deities, the Fae, tree energy, Middle Earth energy, whatever it is, you can see and label it anything you want to. There's plenty of people that are going to tell you the right way to label, and I'm not. I'm just going to say it's your journey, and that's the gift the universe gave you to open up, is to look inside your own spirituality, your own whoever you are, whatever you call it. If spirituality is a word that weirds you out, don't use it. What's your inside about? What do you see when you go self-reflective with that? And how do you get your shine on? And if you get your shine on the back of somebody else, that ain't shine. Not permanent shine. That's going to taint and be ugly later. So don't do that. So off with this video, and I'll be on to the next. And have yourself a beautiful day. Remember, my friends, get within your skin, because within your skin, you're divine. It's absolutely fine. Get on in there and visit that friend, because it needs you to be there, to nourish it and to empower it and to believe in it, instead of the little troll who's behind the curtain. Go kick that little bugger out immediately. Take care of yourself, friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.